There are very few names in the world of entertainment that spark both admiration and controversy in equal measure, and one of those names is Justin Timberlake. For more than 2 decades, Timberlake has been at the forefront of pop culture, first as the cherubic blonde teenager in a boy band that defined a generation, then as a solo superstar with Grammy-winning hits, and later as an actor and media figure navigating the changing tides of fame. His story is one of transformation, reinvention, and persistence, but also of backlash, complicated legacies, and a public image that has shifted dramatically with time. Today, let's dive deep into the fascinating evolution of Justin Timberlake, the highs, the lows, and the truths behind the carefully curated image of one of the most enduring and polarizing figures in modern pop culture. Justin Randall Timberlake was born on January 31, 1981, in Memphis, Tennessee, a city steeped in music history. He grew up surrounded by gospel, country, and blues, and by the time he was a child, it was clear he had an extraordinary gift. That voice, smooth yet powerful, boyish yet soulful, was his ticket into the entertainment industry. His early years were shaped by television appearances. At just 11 years old, he competed on Star Search, singing country songs in a cowboy hat, before joining the all-new Mickey Mouse Club. That show became a launching pad for a whole generation of stars. Alongside Timberlake were Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Kerry Russell, Ryan Gosling, and of course, J.C. Chasez. The Mickey Mouse Club was less about stardom in the moment and more about planting the seeds of a new entertainment way. For Justin, it gave him experience, exposure, and connections that would define his next chapter. That next chapter was NSYNC. In the late 1990s, boy bands were everywhere. Backstreet Boys were topping charts, and Lou Pullman, the notorious impresario behind the boy band boom, was looking to replicate success. Timberlake and Chasez, both from the Mickey Mouse Club, were recruited, and soon NSYNC was born. With Timberlake as one of the lead singers, his curly blonde hair and charisma making him instantly recognizable, the group skyrocketed. Their harmonies, choreography, and carefully crafted image captured the hearts of millions. Songs like Tearing Up My Heart, Bye Bye Bye, and It's Gonna Be Me became generational anthems. By the early 2000s, NSYNC wasn't just a band, it was a cultural phenomenon. At their peak, they sold over 2.4 million copies of their album No Strings Attached in its first week, a record that stood for 15 years. But behind the glitter, Timberlake was restless. He had always been positioned as the breakout star, the one with the voice, the moves, and the drive to carve his own lane. And by 2002, he did just that. NSYNC went on an indefinite hiatus, and Justin Timberlake released his debut solo album, Justified. The world was skeptical. Could another boy band heartthrob really survive outside the group? But Timberlake silenced critics quickly. With Pharrell Williams and Timbaland behind him, Justified was sleek, mature, and dripping with R&B influence. Tracks like Cry Me a River and Rock Your Body weren't just hits, they were statements. Timberlake was shedding his boy band past and positioning himself as a solo artist to be taken seriously. Cry Me a River especially drew headlines for its rumored inspiration from his breakup with Britney Spears, cementing Timberlake not only as a pop star but as a tabloid fixture. The early 2000s were Timberlake's golden moment. He was everywhere: award shows, talk shows, music videos, fashion spreads. And in 2006, he solidified his place with his sophomore album, FutureSex, LoveSounds. This record wasn't just successful, it was groundbreaking. With Timbaland's futuristic production and Timberlake's falsetto soaring, songs like SexyBack, My Love, and What Goes Around Comes Around dominated the charts. Suddenly, Timberlake wasn't just a former boy band member, he was redefining pop music. Critics hailed him as the new king of pop, a bold comparison, but one that reflected the scale of his success. His tours sold out arenas, his music videos were cultural events, and his every move was analyzed. But fame is never linear. Alongside his musical ascent, Timberlake began pursuing acting. Hollywood welcomed him cautiously. Roles in films like Alpha Dog, Black Snake Moan, and later The Social Network showed his reign. He wasn't just dabbling, he was proving himself as a legitimate actor. In The Social Network, his portrayal of Sean Parker, the charismatic but shady co-founder of Napster, earned him critical praise. Timberlake was expanding his empire, transitioning from pop star to multi-hyphenate entertainer. Yet, as the years rolled on, cracks in his image began to show. Timberlake had long been beloved for his charm, humor, and relatability. His hosting stints on Saturday Night Live are still considered classics, but controversies from his past started to resurface. The 2004 Super Bowl halftime show with Janet Jackson, forever remembered for the wardrobe malfunction, left a permanent stain. While Janet's career took a devastating hit, Timberlake largely escaped blame. For years, critics and fans alike called out the double standard. Why did Janet bear the brunt of the fallout while Timberlake continued to thrive? It was a question that followed him and one that would resurface with even greater force in the 2020s. By the 2010s, Timberlake had cemented himself as an elder statesman of pop. His 2013 album, The 2020th Experience, was a commercial triumph. Longer, more experimental tracks showcased a new side of him, and hits like Suit, Tie and Mirrors dominated radio. But the follow-up, The 2020th Experience, 2 of 2, was less warmly received, and his 2018 record Man of the Woods was a critical disappointment, with many accusing Timberlake of struggling to stay relevant in a rapidly changing music landscape. Pop had moved on, and new stars like Drake, The Weeknd, and Billie Eilish were reshaping the sound, and Timberlake's brand of suave, R&B-infused pop felt dated. At the same time, public perception was shifting. In the era of social media accountability, Timberlake's past was being re-examined. His handling of the Britney Spears breakup, the way he capitalized on their drama with Cry Me a River, and his role in the Super Bowl scandal were all under the microscope. Documentaries like Framing Britney Spears reignited discussions, and for the first time, Timberlake was forced to publicly apologize. It was a humbling moment for someone who had long seemed untouchable. And yet, despite the controversies, Timberlake remains a figure people can't look away from. His influence on modern pop and R&B is undeniable. Artists like Justin Bieber, Shawn Mendes, and Harry Styles all follow a blueprint Timberlake helped establish, the boy band Breakout who evolves into a credible solo star. His contributions to choreography, music videos, and the blending of pop with hip-hop and R&B left an indelible mark. Beyond music, his comedic timing, particularly on SNL, proved that pop stars could be funny and self-aware, paving the way for artists to embrace multidimensional careers. Today, Timberlake's legacy is complicated. He's both celebrated and critiqued, admired for his artistry yet questioned for his past. He continues to act, produce, and occasionally release new music, though his cultural dominance has waned compared to his peak. Still, the story of Justin Timberlake is far from over. He represents a generation soundtrack, a voice that defined childhoods and adolescences, and a career that mirrored the changing landscape of fame itself. From Mickey Mouse Club to boy band superstardom, from solo icon to controversial figure, his evolution is a study in reinvention, resilience, and the price of celebrity. In the end, Justin Timberlake is more than just a pop star. He's a mirror of the entertainment industry, its triumphs, its failures, its ability to build up and tear down. His journey shows how stardom is never static, how legacies shift with time, and how no matter how high you climb, the world will always remember both the music and the missteps. And maybe that's the most fascinating part of his story. Justin Timberlake isn't just a product of pop culture, he helped shape it, for better and for worse.